The internet is a vast landscape of information and connection, but beneath its surface, darker currents flow. Platforms like Reddit embody this duality. Wholesome communities exist alongside stories that burrow into your mind and refuse to leave. These aren't just campfire tales, they're fragments of real lives, often unresolved, leaving only a cold sense of dread. Behind every username is a person, sometimes facing situations so bizarre and terrifying that their only recourse is to cry out into the digital void. Today, we're listening, delving into some of the most haunting, unsolved cases from Reddit's shadowed layers. Prepare yourself. Some pages are better left unread. Our first story begins with a single post, a digital breadcrumb dropped into the vast expanse of the internet. It's a story that unfolded in real time, captivating and terrifying a community of online strangers. I think I'm being followed, and it's getting worse. The chilling words that started it all. The user, Observer11, described a green sedan appearing everywhere he went, a constant, unsettling presence that began to dominate his life. It was a mundane detail, a car, yet it became a symbol of something far more sinister. On his commute, a place of routine and predictability now tainted with fear outside his apartment, his sanctuary, now a place of watchful eyes at the grocery store, a simple errand transformed into a heart-pounding ordeal. At first he dismissed it as coincidence, a trick of the mind, but the sightings multiplied, becoming too frequent, too deliberate to ignore. The feeling of being watched intensified, a creeping dread that consumed his thoughts. He started taking blurry, hurried photos, desperate to capture proof, to validate his fear. And the Reddit community took notice, drawn in by the unsettling narrative unfolding before their eyes. Advice poured in. Call the police, seek official help, change routines, disrupt the pattern, install cameras, create a digital shield. Some doubted him, dismissing it as paranoia or a fabricated story. But as his updates grew frantic, filled with increasing desperation, skepticism faded, replaced by a growing sense of unease. Observer11 described tapping on his window at night, a violation of his personal space, a chilling reminder that he was not alone, missing mail, a subtle form of manipulation, a way to isolate him from the outside world, and a shadowy figure standing across the street for hours, a silent, menacing sentinel. His phone glitched when he tried to photograph the figure, technology failing him in his moment of need, adding another layer of paranoia. The tapping grew louder, more insistent, a relentless pressure that chipped away at his sanity. Police were unhelpful, no evidence, no action. The system failed him, leaving him vulnerable and alone. Reddit became his only support, his digital watchman, a community of strangers offering solace and advice in his darkest hour. Then, his final post, a message that sent chills down the spines of everyone who read it. They know I'm posting. The car is outside. The hunter has found its prey. Someone is at the door, not knocking, just standing there. A silent threat, a looming presence. I can see the shadow under the door. A final desperate plea for help, a chilling image burned into the minds of his online followers. The post ended abruptly. The community waited for an update, refreshing the page, hoping for a sign, but none came. Silence. Days passed. Users searched for clues, scoured the internet, desperate to find any information that could lead them to Observer11. But Observer11 had left no trace, no name, no city, nothing to identify him. He was a ghost in the machine. Attempts to report him missing went nowhere. Who were they looking for? A faceless username? A digital phantom? Just a username and a chilling story, a modern-day campfire tale whispered across the digital landscape. The thread became a digital memorial, a place people returned to, haunted by the lack of closure, forever wondering about the fate of Observer11. Was it fiction? A cry for help masked as a story? Or did something truly sinister happen that night, something that silenced him forever? The account was deleted, all posts wiped, erased from the digital record. Only screenshots and memories remain, fragments of a story that refuses to be forgotten. The story exists now as a cautionary tale, a reminder that someone can be stalked, terrorized, their life slowly unraveling under the gaze of an unseen predator, and then simply vanish, both online and off, leaving behind only questions and a lingering sense of dread. The disappearing man is a ghost in the server, a digital echo, a chilling reminder of the dark corners of the internet. A permanent unanswered question mark, a mystery that continues to haunt the digital world. We may never know what happened to him, what fate befell Observer11. Perhaps that's the most frightening part, the unknown. He cried for help into the void, and became part of it, lost in the digital abyss, a chilling testament to the power of anonymity and the dangers that lurk in the shadows. Reddit, the front page of the internet, a sprawling digital landscape hosting communities for virtually everything imaginable. But what lurks beneath the surface? What if there's a subreddit, a digital space not meant to be found, a place shrouded in mystery, deliberately hidden from prying eyes? Codebreaker, a programmer with a knack for uncovering the internet's secrets, stumbled onto a hidden subreddit, a digital anomaly, through a series of technical exploits and sheer curiosity. He wasn't looking for it, but it found him. It had no discernible name, no active moderators overseeing the chaos, and a subscriber count that flickered erratically, displaying strings of nonsense characters instead of a stable number. It was as if the very fabric of the subreddit was unstable. The posts themselves were deeply bizarre, distorted videos that seemed to defy logic, static-filled audio that grated on the ears, sending shivers down the spine, and GPS coordinates pointing to desolate, forgotten places, often in the middle of nowhere. Reversing the audio revealed cryptic messages, strings of numbers and distorted voices, coordinates that consistently led back to the vast, empty expanse of the Nevada desert. What secrets were buried there? Codebreaker, driven by a need to understand, shared his initial findings on a secure tech forum, seeking help from others who might decipher the mystery. But as he dug deeper into the Forbidden Subreddit, the content grew increasingly personal, targeted, and deeply unsettling. The feeling of being watched intensified. Videos began to surface showing empty rooms devoid of life, flickering shadows dancing on the walls, hinting at something unseen lurking just out of sight, and comments filled with complex lines of code, interspersed with obscure philosophical quotes, creating a disturbing juxtaposition of technology and existentialism, until one chilling comment simply read his username, a direct message from the unknown. Suddenly, without warning, his forum post vanished into the digital ether. Users who had commented on his post offering support or theories were abruptly suspended from the forum. It was as if a powerful force was actively erasing all traces of his discovery, systematically silencing anyone who knew too much. Then, new videos began to appear on the Forbidden Subreddit. One filmed from across the street outside his favorite coffee shop, clearly showing him sitting inside, unaware of the camera's gaze. The accompanying audio, distorted and menacing, contained a clear message: "We see you, Codebreaker. Stop digging." Panic began to set in, a cold dread washing over him. He'd always been meticulous about his online privacy, using VPNs and encrypted messaging, but somehow, they had found him, breached his defenses. Desperate, he posted a single message within the Forbidden Subreddit itself. "Who are you? What do you want?" Instantly, the subreddit's layout began to glitch violently. Posts vanished one by one, replaced by a single, terrifying video. A live feed from his own webcam, pointed directly at him. The indicator light, which should have been illuminated, was ominously off, suggesting it had been disabled remotely. He yanked the webcam cable from his computer, his heart pounding in his chest like a drum. The line between the digital world and his physical reality had been irrevocably shattered, leaving him vulnerable and exposed. Codebreaker made the only choice he felt he had left. He deleted his account, wiped his hard drives clean, erasing every trace of his digital life, and disappeared from the internet, hoping to vanish completely from their sight. The story of the Forbidden Subreddit survives only in scattered, fragmented, deleted posts, whispers in the digital wind, pieced together by those who saw them, however briefly, before they vanished forever, lost to the depths of the internet. Was it a sophisticated surveillance program, a complex alternate reality game, or something far more sinister? No one truly knows the answer. It's a chilling reminder that some digital doors are locked for a reason, and some secrets are best left undisturbed. Sometimes, when you stare into the abyss stares back, and sometimes it knows your username. Alternate reality games, or ARGs, cleverly blend the boundaries between the digital and real worlds. They often present intricate puzzles and narratives that unfold across various platforms, engaging players in collaborative problem-solving, usually for fun and entertainment. These games invite participants to become active storytellers, piecing together fragments of information to unravel a larger mystery. But what happens when the lines blur too much? What if a game's true goal isn't just amusement, but something far more sinister, like manipulation and control? The Chrysalis Collective began innocently enough, as a cryptic Reddit post that piqued the curiosity of online sleuths. It started with a single line of text: "The mind is a labyrinth. Do you dare to find the center?" This enigmatic invitation drew players into a complex web of secrets and challenges. Players eagerly solved ciphers, deciphering hidden messages, and unraveling the initial layers of the game's narrative. They joined a Discord server, forming a community of dedicated participants eager to collaborate and share their discoveries. And they were guided, or rather controlled, by anonymous figures known only as architects, whose true identities remained shrouded in mystery. But as the game progressed, the puzzles shifted from purely intellectual challenges to deeply personal ones, encouraging sleep deprivation, pushing players to their limits of exhaustion, strict diets, controlling their eating habits and imposing restrictive schedules, and administering psychological tests designed to probe their deepest vulnerabilities. The architects began to exploit players' shared fears and closely guarded secrets, turning their vulnerabilities against them, weaving these personal details into the very fabric of the game, blurring the already thin line between fiction and reality, making it harder to discern what was real and what was fabricated. The manipulation escalated, becoming more overt and insidious with each passing day. Private messages sowed seeds of paranoia and distrust among the players, creating a climate of fear. Selective praise and strategic isolation fractured the once unified community, turning allies into rivals. Real-world tasks followed, further blurring the lines between the game and everyday life. Tasks like leaving cryptic symbols in public places under the cover of darkness, trailing other players, engaging in what amounted to online and offline surveillance, even delivering mysterious packages to unknown recipients without knowing the contents or purpose. The final stage was ominously named the Shattering. The architects leveled a devastating accusation against a well-liked and respected player, claiming they had betrayed the collective, releasing what appeared to be irrefutable yet ultimately doctored evidence to support their claims, and urging the rest of the group to expose them, inciting a digital witch hunt. The community, whipped into a frenzy, turned on the accused with shocking speed and ferocity, doxing their personal information and revealing it to the world, subjecting them to relentless harassment and cyberbullying, and even sending them credible threats of violence. The game, once a source of entertainment, had become a weapon of mass psychological destruction. Only when the targeted player pleaded publicly for mercy and understanding, revealing the devastating impact the game had on their life, did some of the participants finally realize the full horror of what they'd blindly participated in. The Chrysalis Collective vanished overnight, leaving behind a trail of broken trust and shattered lives. The architects, the puppet masters behind the chaos, were never identified, their motives remaining a chilling enigma. Was it a meticulously planned social experiment designed to test the limits of human behavior, or simply a cruel game played by malicious individuals with a twisted sense of amusement? To this day, no one truly knows the answer. The story of the Chrysalis Collective serves as a dark and cautionary warning, demonstrating how easily narrative and perceived authority can be twisted into powerful tools for psychological torment and manipulation. The players thought they were simply solving puzzles and unraveling a mystery, but in reality, they were unknowingly the subjects of a disturbing experiment, their actions and reactions carefully observed and manipulated. The psychological scars remain, a lasting testament to the game's devastating impact, a chilling reminder of how easily and irrevocably the line between game and reality can disappear, with potentially catastrophic consequences. These stories are more than digital folklore, they're unsettling glimpses into the internet's shadows. From Observer 11's disappearance to Codebreaker's digital nightmare and the psychological wreckage of the Chrysalis Collective, each case reveals how fear and manipulation thrive online. Behind every username is a real person whose life can be changed forever by a single encounter. The lack of resolution is what haunts us most, leaving only questions and digital ghosts. Reddit holds communities, stories, and shadows. If you look long enough into the abyss, it sometimes looks back. Remember, some pages, some threads, and some games are better left alone.